All right, all right, all right. Can somebody tell me which day we in? Because I'm losing count. What day we in? What day we in? Somebody let me know. I look crazy, bro. Who cares, bro? Hmm. Is it day 7 though? Is it? Is it? Nah, it's day 7. It's day 7. You right, you right. You on the money, bro. You on the money. You on the money for sure. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Day 7. Day 7. Oh, I thought y'all would have been gave up by now, but y'all be pulling up. Y'all showing up. And again, that's appreciated because all this information I'm giving out, it takes the right level of people to commit and really pursue this journey like they should. Everybody just want things to be handed to them. And the amount of work that you gotta really put in, man, like you you gotta get to a point where you not only are you putting in the work, but you're becoming very familiarized with your craft and you're simplifying the process. All right. So can somebody put in the chat some of the things yesterday that we mentioned that really stood out? Let me see if you guys are still uh paying some good attention. Because at this point, I don't want anybody to feel like they're getting information overload. I just want to keep seeing like what's something that y'all remembered or what it is that y'all felt yesterday was different than the other days, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Let me check the chat real quick. All right. I'm looking for some engagement. Talk to me nice. You feel free to mute yourself. I mean unmute yourself. And once again, every day at 7 p.m. it starts raining, which is so crazy. Which is so crazy. Uh, what's up, people? Talk to me. What about yesterday that stood out to you?
Recovery time. How quick you get your licks back.
Oh shit. Yeah. That part. That part. Why did that make such an importance to you? Why is it that this is something that matters to you so much out of yesterday's um webinar?
Like you said, cause like sometimes you know how sometimes you can take a loss and you just let it beat you, make
Yeah,
you question yourself, like, am I doing the right thing?
right.
But like you just got right back into it and you then because you believe in the strategy, you then let it defeat you. Losing what, 34K?
Yeah. Something like that.
Man, I would have closed my laptop, go somewhere.
Bro. And it's been days like that too. Like in the past, boy, you just get waxed by the market, man. You tried it again. They like, oh yeah, give me that. Take that, take that. No diddy. And then you're like, Ave Maria. Literally like 12 p.m. Eastern. It don't even matter. You going straight to sleep, just waking up the next day, just hoping it was all a dream, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? What do you remember from yesterday? I knew y'all was getting information overload. Y'all not taking notes? D-Mac, guess I gotta call names for y'all to like engage.
Yes, sir.
Amber, I'm talking to you too.
Oh, I wasn't on the call yesterday. I'm playing catch up.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So far, what have you been catching up on since the past couple of days, though?
I just watched the previous video before Sunday. about the retest of the 830
Okay,
candle.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm, I'm glad you said that. So, what have you been doing? Like, I mean, it's a fresh new trading week. It's Monday. Did anybody trade today? Did y'all see some of the setups we've been talking about? I know some of y'all have. I know some of y'all have.
I definitely did Sunday through Tuesday, and I like noticed like a few things that would like probably help improve based on the class
Yeah.
that we the other day. But yeah, like I saw setups for US 30, gold, EU, and GU, and as well as UCAD on the sell side.
Damn. Okay. You're definitely gonna be showing us those setups and not too long ago from now. What am I saying? I'm tired. But okay. Anybody else? Good input, Stefan. Anybody else? What did you guys learn so far from yesterday's webinar? And have you guys traded this week so far? Today was a good trading day, and it's Monday. So I had a nice low lick. Didn't even stay in the market for too long. I traded gold. Gold sells today. I'll break that down in a second. Okay, so it seems like it's just Stefan and D Max so far who has learned from yesterday's webinar. Okay, so I guess you guys need to really take down notes and try not to just forget what I'm telling you. Okay, that's why I be asking these questions just so I can see who's paying attention, what y'all retaining. Because if not, then it's not going to be of use to you, and many people get lazy to watch replays. Okay, so really quickly, we were talking about the pre-market retest, and of course, that's what I saw today on gold. The thing is, as I told y'all before, let me make some changes here. As I told you guys before, um, everything aligns on these charts, right? Everything pretty much aligns. What I mean by that is literally, y'all remember me marking Friday. The last time we spoke on Friday, we saw that price for gold had retested this low. You might have thought, okay, this is a whole buy, but nope. Price opened up on Sunday and they gave a breaking retest by 11 p.m. They sold here by 2 in the morning. And then so by 5, 6, 7, we saw them retest this area, 12 a.m. That's Asia, and they sold. So I'm coming in here at like 8. I lied. I took a glance at the market by 8, but then I took a nap because I was still tired. And by 9:45, like I pretty much was like trading half asleep, to be honest. And I almost said to myself, I'm not really trading today. But I looked again with like one eye and I'm like, wait a minute. When 9:30 opened up, I saw like they were pretty much retesting the 8:30, 8:15 pre-market here. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, since we already had Friday's range here and they did a break and retest, and they did a break and retest here, it's pretty simple what's about to happen. We're looking at a whole breaker block, where the previous higher low, they break retest, they turn into a lower high. I'm like, okay, this is dope. And then on top of that, price was literally retesting the 8:30 by 9:30. So I'm like, ain't no way y'all out here making it easy for me on a Monday morning. So what I do? I took the sells. And where did I put my stop loss? Above the 8:30, barely 25, 26 pips. And I was anticipating for price to drop to 23.83. But sometimes on Mondays, I like to keep my P's and Q's, bro, because like not too long ago, I had a disgusting Monday and it didn't make me feel good. I had to recover like by the end of the week. And so I was very much cautious. And so when this candle was kind of struggling to sell off, I made a judgment call. I said, nah, you know what, bro? I know what I want to see, but I've already got the lot sizes into a good, comfortable set of profits. So I closed, and the next candle literally sold off for 82 pips. I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. But the reason why I was even anticipating price to keep selling is because of the break and retest, and because price did a retest of Friday. I can see that clearly this is not going to do anything but sell. And I
One question.
remember, hold on. I remember there was a gap in here that I saw. And so that's why I was targeting this area right here from where price rallied from July 11th. And I remember asking myself, when will price come back here? Because I remember I saw this gap, and they literally came all the way back here days and days later. So that was my trade for today. All right. Now, the question somebody was going to ask.
What is the Friday range? Would it be? No, I'm saying, what is that? Is it like a 9:30 open? Is it
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
New York session?
That's
Okay.
usually the candle that I highlight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so once I see breaking retest and they bouncing off of it, that tells me they're losing strength to break it. So if we're having that type of situation going on, then just like a bad flight on Spirit, you having turbulence and you're losing altitude. So I'm gonna trade you to the downside. That's all that tells me. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, makes sense. I did that same exact thing. I took a sell, paying attention to that. Yeah, I listened, paying attention to that Friday level, but I closed too early.
Yeah,
I
me too.
closed way too early.
I closed. I was not taking no chances on today because
Yeah.
if price pulled back all the way and now I gotta sit there and sit through price to come right back down, I wasn't even really like 100% locked in. It was just a trade that's so textbook. I'm still in bed. I'm looking at it. Got in the trade because I woke up today with this analogy. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to drop this analogy. And I was like, for those of y'all who struggle with like holding your trades, it's just like cooking or the microwave, right? Put something in the microwave. You're not much looking for it every 5 seconds and trying to see if it's like warming up or not. You know how much how many minutes you just put in the microwave for it to warm up, right? And the same thing with like putting something in the oven or cooking on the stove. You know, like how long a salmon is supposed to last, how long it's supposed to be seared. I know right now, Hans talking about cooking. Man, what you know about cooking, Hans? Hey, I be cooking. So, some things need 35 minutes um to preheat. So it's the same thing with trading. Like you should know how long on average your setups should last, which will allow you to like get in the trade and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just step out for 20 minutes. I have my stop loss. This should play out for the next 30 minutes. And by the time it's like 2025, you could check it to see what's going on, see if things are doing pretty good. Because for me personally, if I'm in a trade where it's one of my setups that I know very well, within 20 minutes at least, I should be seeing it move with good momentum. I should be in profit, which is very helpful for me to think about. Be like, all right, once I put in my trade, just like I put it in the oven, I should be able to walk away and then come back when the timer is making noise. You know, so and that's a perspective I wanted to share with y'all to understand how much things can really like correlate. Same thing where, like, let's say you're in the shower, you're taking a shower. I know some of y'all be in there for like 30 minutes. Us men, 15 minutes is good enough. 20 minutes, pretty good, right? If you're trying to plan out your day, you should know, like, okay, if I wake up at 8 in the morning, by 8:30, I should be done eating and taking a shower or whatever. That's the type of psychology you need to have when going into a trade that you know very well. All right. It should not be no guesswork. It should not be no antsy and anxiousness. Like, yo, you should know your setup so well that you should understand what an average hold time is like, to the point where if 30 minutes into this trade, it's not doing anything, you're like, yo, what's going on, guys? This trade should have been running 20 minutes ago. Like, you guys are not on my schedule, you know? So y'all got to get to that level of understanding your trade setup. The next thing I wanted to transition into is talk about breathing room psychology. What did I say? Breathing room psychology. Breathing room psychology. All right. So what am I talking about? So that tomorrow when I ask y'all, what is it that y'all remember about the previous day, and everybody somehow got amnesia, I'm not going to take it tomorrow. All right. Breathing room psychology. What y'all think I'm going to talk about regarding breathing room psychology? What y'all think this is about?
Stop loss.
Say it louder for the people in the back, brother.
Stop loss.
Stop loss. Exactly. Many of us have this problem that we're trying to solve. And it's like, Hans, I want to feel comfortable when I get in a trade. How can you help me? Maybe your stop loss too tight. If it's above 0.02, you should definitely consider moving your stop loss a little bit further if you are having issues with feeling comfortable when you're in a trade. If you know the setup and you still having issues with like being comfortable in a trade, then you need to check your breathing room psychology. And so I said, when you got a 0.02 as the like bare minimum of a stop loss, that means if you feel some type of way about the lot size, decrease the lot size, increase the breathing room stop loss. Give yourself some more space, add in 10 or 15 more pips or points, just so you could feel more at ease. Because we're going to have to solve these issues one way or another. You can't be still having the same problems. If it's not the setup, it's got to be the stop loss. Because why else are you losing so much? Why else are you feeling so uncomfortable about a trade that you get in that you should know what the typical outcome is? Like, to be honest, you're always going to feel just a bit of a weird emotional reaction when you get in the trade, right? Sometimes excitement, other times like, I'm not too sure about this one, but if I give it 20 to 30 minutes, it should start to move, right? But when you are literally palpitating every time you get in the trade, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And the last thing about having a correlation with heart palpitations pretty much is you and your relationship with money. Some people just cannot stand losing a dime. You can't be like that. If you're in here to make money, then why are you so afraid to lose money? Is it because you're afraid to be wrong? You want to always be right? No. So one thing that got me a lot more comfortable is if I'm looking at a break-in retest and I'm like, yeah, I want to put my stop loss here, above here, but the logical part of me is saying, bro, just increase it just a little bit, bro, just to feel a lot more comfortable. So, and what's the difference between 17 to 30? It's a big difference. Not gonna lie. But how much does that increase your profitability or the likeliness of the trade to have a chance to play out? It increases it by just it increases it by a whole margin of probability. Okay. So some people, y'all just stingy. Like y'all just want everything for yourselves. Y'all not trying to give up nothing. No, you got to be able to give up something to get something. All right. So how many of y'all struggle with putting your stop loss on a little too tight and you keep getting hit and then the market just keeps going? Can't receive money if your hand closed trying to hold what you have. Exactly. Exactly, Tiana. Exactly. Put a check mark behind that. How many of y'all still struggling with your stop loss getting hit too often? Right. Stop being stingy. Like, that's what it is. My stop loss don't get hit too often. Sometimes I don't even trade with a stop loss. I already went with the mental stop loss, looking at price where it's at. If I get in, let's say at 2407, in my head, I'm like, if this thing goes 22 pips up with my lot size, let's say the lot size is 5 lots. I know if I'm starting to see $900, bro, pack it up, my guy. You're about to get hit with the SL because I know 5 lots times 20 pips equals $1,000. But you should have already been comfortable risking that. Sometimes I'm not as comfortable with certain trades that I'm in. I just want it to work. I don't want it to not work. And those are the times where I feel the most antsy. I'm like, hey, why are you pulling back this fast? why you having trouble going out? Why are you having trouble, just moving the way you're supposed to? That's when I feel a little nervous. But if I already know this is a good setup, no matter how much it pulls back and I'm in drawdown, there's a point of no return that I'm expecting the market to not hit. And so we're going to talk about some of those areas and where price is least likely to hit your stop loss once it does something. I might know it, but I'm sure some of you guys might not have that knowledge or that confirmation. Okay. With me, I have to learn my lot sizes were way too big for my account and my comfortability. That's true. Y'all can't just, today is a good day. I feel like putting this lot size. What? No. And that's where it goes right back to when I say you need to know your setups. Because if you know you can get away with murder, then you can flirt around, put in a stop loss, or a lot size that can make or break that account. For instance, when I see price did a break and retest, and it's retesting the 830, or like, obviously I do see that this is 815, this is 830, but is this the range between the 8 and the 9? Typically, ideally 8:30 a.m. But if I'm seeing prices pulling right into this area, I'm still gonna make a judgment call. The fact that I saw a retest over here allowed me to put my stop loss just about 22 pips away and such. This setup allows me to think about the worst case and the best case scenarios. Because I'm telling you, I'll be in the shower like, okay, so if prices retesting the 830 pre-market, highs for a sell setup, and I'll put 20 pips stop loss, and I'm risking $4,000. Sheesh. So that means I can get away with this setup. I can get away with a 50 lot, right? I think that's what it is. 4,000 divided by 20 pips. Oh, shoot, I was way off. 200 lots. No, it's a 20 lot. I'm tired. All right. So, do you understand how a really good setup can allow you to get away with murder? I really could have put 20 lots and this thing dropped 100 pips. And oh my God, that's a 20K day on a Monday, right? Let's bring it down a bit. Let's say you have a $10,000 account, $6,000 account, $5,000 account, $2,000 account. And you know this setup so well now, you're starting to get more confident and you're like breaking retesting the 830 pre-market. You put in a trade, you're risking $400. Obviously, 400 is a bit much on a $2,000 account, but you don't care. You know the setup. You're ready to trade aggressively. You get away with a 2 lot because 400, same thing divided by 20, we're looking at $20, which is a 2 lot, right? Just opening your eyes to how some of those setups could really help you boost your earnings for the day. Or let's say you got a futures account, you know, whatever you guys are out here doing. Maybe you have a funded account, and let's say the previous week was not too good, and you started off fresh this week, and then you see this setup. You're like, hold up. I could put a 25, 20, 26 pip stop loss, you know, just adding a little bit of breathing room. And then boom, this thing drops 45 minutes, 125 pips. Oh my Lord. And then you out here, you got D-Mac, not even from Cali. And now he out here crip walking. They not like us. It's like, what's going on, D-Mac? Oh man, look, bro, on a Monday, boy, up $2,500. All right, Bills. Which one y'all, which one want to get paid early today? What's up, little baby? What's your cash app? You want me to Zell you, or you want me to talking different? Talking different, you know what I'm saying? Just be looking forward to bills and shit. It's like, what's today? The 22nd? I could afford to be 7 days early. Saying hello. Speak to a representative. Pay my bills. You heard me. Speak to a representative. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, 3 months in advance. I didn't stutter. Yo, when you making good profits in the markets, bro, you you living a different type of life. You know, you start looking on Zillow, looking at which mortgage this $4.3 million house. Okay, not bad. Down payment 40, man. Okay, not bad. Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad. All right, go to the dealership. Wow, that's 40 lots, 200 pips. Yeah, doable. Because you're starting to see the reality of it working for you. That's why, like, when you hear people be like, you know, I'm wishing 6 figures for all traders, like my boy Quantito be posting sometimes. I'll be calling them like, bro, it's not happening for all these traders, bro. What the fuck you talking about? Like, it's not happening. And he's like, man, you know, we gotta motivate the people. I'm like, yeah, but if them folks don't know what setup to even make 6 figures with, like, this ain't the lottery. You ain't about to get lucky and just hit them numbers. No, it's supposed to be well calculated. You're supposed to see it over and over to even be comfortable to put some money behind what you see. But if you keep seeing these things happen and you're like, okay, I'll be more comfortable putting some money behind this. All right. Now, on a smaller scale, right? This is a very doable conversation that I'm about to have. Price breaks and retests here. You put a $2 trade. Let's say you put a 30 pip stop loss. This thing drops 125 pips. That small account is still going to do numbers. 125 pips times $2 is 250. Okay, there goes your 250, which you are withdrawing, right? We're not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna wait till this account gets to $1,000 and I'm in. No, withdraw as often as possible because it's your money when it hits that account. When your small account makes 25% gains, 150% gains because you're trading Forex, withdraw. Like, make it a habit and a sport to withdraw more often. Because by the time you withdraw 250 10 times, oh wow, so you just made an extra $2,500. Even if the account is not big, but you just risked $60 by putting, your 30 pip stop loss above with some good breathing room. You saw the setup, you understood the setup, you understood how long it might play out, which is the whole time psychology. And now price gave you a really good turnout in about an hour. You made a great profit for the day. And then you starting to realize that it's all cap when people be like, I don't trade Mondays. Okay, good for you. That's not my story. If I see my setup, it don't matter what day it is. It's getting clapped because I've gotten clapped on a Thursday. There's no guarantees. The only guarantee is the probability of your setup. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. I'm not out here speaking my most eloquent English today. I'm keeping it real. I'm trying to get y'all to really understand because there's about 3 to 4 days left out this boot camp. I need people to understand how practical this needs to be and not sitting here in class like I'm a Forex professor. We're here to make money. That's all we're here for. I need everybody to make their $75 back. Okay. That's what's going to make me feel better. I want you to make more than just $75 back. Is that not what y'all want? I need y'all to be confident, to be consistent, to stop feeling like you need a trade signal group just to finally like do some numbers. No, I need y'all to take control of this journey as you should have. Is everybody starting to understand the 830 retest along with breathing room psychology and whole time psychology? You see how I'm keeping it conversational, but also like it's making sense.
Can you go over the 830 strategy one more time for me?
Yeah, who was that?
That was Stefan.
Okay. Now, to be honest, this was a little bit not as easy to see if you're looking for a specific candle for real. This is a break and retest. It's just that within the 8 a.m. up until 9:30, we can tell where the break and retest is happening, where they're really like respecting it. So 8:15, 8:30, that's pre-market. All right. Before the US equities market, before Wall Street dings that bell. Ding, 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 ding. 9:30 open. Chicago Board of Trades, CME Group, Wall Street. Everybody starts to go crazy, right? The 9:30 is the market open. The 8:30 is the pre-market. So all you're looking for is price to retest it or sometimes sweep above it and then respect it enough to reverse back down. That's for a sell setup. But for a buy setup, you're looking to see price. By the way, this was a good buy trade, but then after that, price went further into the low. So how I saw this before that happened was I was looking at the market from 8 a.m., 8:15, 8:30. So by the time I saw price bounce here like that, I would have taken this trade with my stop loss below this 8 a.m. price range. And they pushed a good 133 points. This looked good. I was like, okay, now US 30, but I was focusing on gold, so I didn't trade US 30 yet. So let's go to the M5. When it looked like that over here, like that. So it was like 725, 755, 815, like you can see the pre-market range right here. So by the time they bounce here like that, I was ready to take a buy with my stop loss below that. So I would have just risked about 20 points below that 8 a.m., 8:15, 8:30 range. That's what we're talking about, the pre-market range, pre-market. This was not as clean, but by the way, reasons why I don't care if I didn't trade US 30 on a Monday is because I'm still paying attention to how they're going to behave between Friday and tomorrow or Wednesday. Because if you are still respecting this range from Friday, I'm going to want to buy you for sure. All right. As long as you're respecting that range, the afternoon or the morning from Friday, we can see it went bounce. Okay, we're seeing that this is where that range was from last Friday. So when I go to a higher time frame, I'm looking at stuff like that. I'm like, look at all this price rejection, all these candles. That's telling me that pretty soon we might see a retest of this area, and that's when you'll probably see a very clean buy setup. And so that entices me to go looking at Forex Factory to see how this volume is going to pick up. And it is the last couple of days of the month. So there might be some options, contracts expiring and things like that might push this market. But we also do see that there's like news on Wednesday, 9:45. It has nothing to do with US 30, but US news typically moves this market regardless. Yeah, Wednesday. Tuesday is not much going on. Friday there's core PCE, but I wouldn't depend on this to make me feel like price is gonna buy. But the fact that we're maintaining this structure by tomorrow or Wednesday, trust, if they're respecting that area like we've been talking about, then that will complete the Friday to Tuesday strategy for me to get in those buys once New York shows up. Okay, so now let's go back and talk about the US pre-market strategy. Because one thing about trading is like sometimes what you're looking for doesn't show up, or other times it does. And it's going to have to happen right when it's happening for you to identify it. So here's a cheat code of how I usually anticipate. Let's say it's a Friday and I'm waking up and I'm looking at the market. I always look left. I'm like, all right, this is where Thursday was. Asian market pretty much consolidated. And here we have this 8:30 candle. So what I'm trying to see is how far back do they pull in it? Because they're either going to respect and bounce off of this level, or they might just sweep under it and then break and retest. But either way, I'm like very drawn into what price is doing between market open and what is it doing with the 8:30 price range. If it's bouncing off of it, I'm getting into buys, finger already on the trigger. Stop loss, I usually go for a good 50 to 60 points, expecting 100, 120, depending on what's going on. But that's a good 1 to 2 risk to reward. Makes sense, Stefan?
Yes, sir. That makes plenty of sense. I appreciate you breaking that down again, man.
All right. So in your words, how would you define it? Because you did say something about and D, I do see that you got your hands raised. How would you define the pre-market retest?
I would say that I'm looking for the range that's happening before
Around
it. So
what
I was
time you're looking for that?
so for me, like well, it would be uh anywhere between like 4 to 6:30 because I'm in Arizona, so that
Okay.
like yeah, it's like I have to wake up way earlier to be able to look at that. So but I would look at that between, and I'm usually up like at 4 or 5 anyway, so I'll look at the market, see where it's ranging at, and then be able to see a determination as to what direction price wants to go into, and then after price goes into then I'll wait to see if wait to see if there's a break in a retest of that particular level, and then go proceed accordingly based on based on what the market is showing me.
Okay, good. All right. D, would you like to say something? Yeah, it's 8 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, Eastern. Tiana, where you at again?
I'm in Texas. I don't know how I made that trade because I have my trading view set up to Central Time, and I
Oh,
put it.
Lord.
That must have been
Yeah,
the grace of
I guess
God.
I gotta repeat. Eastern time, guys. Like it would actually help. No wonder some of y'all are probably like, man, I've been looking for it. I'm not seeing it. Well, because you're not in the right time zone.
Oh,
Go at the bottom of this page, click on that, make sure it's New York. Y'all already know what time it is, where y'all at, but make sure your trading view is consistent to New York, especially if y'all trading New York session, you know.
I had a question too about your markups. Okay, so I know why you drew that area, that zone of consolidation, and I know why you drew underneath it because that's a potential low. But how come did you draw that one, like that last third one at the very bottom?
You know, sometimes I'm just somebody who's color coordinated. Sometimes I just like to draw, like, just to make it make sense for me. It's nothing
Hmm.
significant, nothing special. Don't let it bother you for real. But, you know, like I be moving my demand zones or supply zones. Like as long as it makes sense. It's just like you ever wake up and you move your couch because you feel like it's just not the way you wanted it to be. It's just something just changed, but you're just trying to make sense out of like the structure of your house. And so
Yeah.
it's the same thing with me when I'm trading. D usually asks me that same question too. It's like, why did you draw your demand zone here? I'm like, because I'm just trying to. Danley asked me that question too. I don't like my demand zone to look this ugly. I pretty much like to try and make it match the areas that I'm paying attention to, where I can
Mhm.
see prices reacting off of. So I'm like, okay, this is Thursday, 8:30, 10:30, then Thursday afternoon. Like, all this matters to me. And then we have consolidation. So if price is starting to dip fast, I'm like, oh, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. There's Thursday's afternoon. They can dip right under before they push back up. So then I'll just sometimes let these type of things happen and just wait for a double bounce, like by 10, 30, 11, latest 12, I should be able to make sense out of what the heck is going on for me to make a trade. If not, I'm too lazy or turned off to like try and pursue anything to make it make sense. I'll be back the next day.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. D, you had your question to ask. Go ahead and ask it. Let me see. I'm in PST. Yeah. Don't fit. Oh God, you're in PST. Golly. 3 hours. Ah, that's tough. That's hey, but when y'all trade in London though, y'all be lit because it's like midnight over there, midnight to 1 a.m. I don't really trade London no more, so that's yeah. That's tough for sure. Okay. Um, so let's continue talking about these setups and the whole time psychology. If I'm in a trade by let's say 10:30, 10:45, I'm braving through that trade until 12, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Because once price sweeps the previous day or sweeps the London of the session within the day, and they do a break and retest, that setup usually keeps going in that same direction for like 2 hours, 3 hours, let alone the rest of the day. There are some setups once they're done doing what they're doing, literally they're just going and going and going until the end of the session or by 1:30, 2 p.m. So my sweet spot to get into a good trade is between 10 a.m., 11:30, if there's a break and retest. And by like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., I'm usually out that jump. I'm not even holding so I can get hit with no swap fees and none of that. But if I got a swing trade to set up, then it's because of the Friday to Tuesday strategy, or let's say a 4 hour structure got swept. Like I remember gold gave us such a sexy setup. And I'm like, damn, 4 hour got swept. Damn, I'm gonna have to be in this trade for a couple of days. Like that's how this is for me now. I know if this, then that. If this happens, then that's what's gonna happen next. It's just like y'all girls when y'all watching movies with your significant other, always ruining it for us. Oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen next. Cause y'all such movie connoisseurs, right? I know it's a couple of y'all in here. Y'all the same people. Tiana, I'm sure Tiana's just like that. Always knowing the conclusion of the movie. See, I knew it. Let me see who else is like that. Use my powers real quick. Jasmine. I feel like Jasmine is one of those people too. I bet you I ain't wrong. Like a TP getting hit. I just like to watch the movie Lies. All lies. Okay. So are these things making sense? I'd be mad when people predict a movie. I feel like it's if I get surprised, that means it was a good movie. You see, you and my wife, y'all would definitely get on my nerves. I'd be like, damn, you watched this movie? No, I didn't. I just wrote the script. I'm like, this girl, bro. All right. So you need to understand behaviors very well. And if you didn't know what was going to happen next, bring out your popcorn and let the market snitch on itself. Stop trying to beat yourself up. The other day, one of my private students, she was like, yo, I don't understand how US 30's moving. Like all these Mendingo candles. I told him that. Mendingo candles and like will price come back to fill the imbalance? And the alpha version of me just took over and said, bro, you're doing too much. Like you're asking the wrong questions. I realized like I'm at a point in my trading too. Like I wouldn't say I have low tolerance, but I pretty much have figured out what's gonna happen next. And certain things that I see when y'all say is out of like fear, uncertainty, doubt. And I'm trying to like slap that shit out your system quickly. So I don't know. Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. No, you're gonna make six figures. Yeah, but I don't. Hey, shut up. You're gonna make because I've been there before. I've been on that side, and I wish somebody would just like smack the doubt out of me and just be like, no, I don't know if I can recover. Shut up. Just wait when price retests or breaks and retests. You're going to scale in that position. You'll be back. I don't know, Hans. Just do it next week. Yo, guess who's up? Told you. Told you. Like, erase the limiting belief. Go find out how you can answer your own doubt. Yeah, like, so I told the guy, I'm like, yo, bro, you don't question these things. It's a matter of when and will you execute when it's given what you're asking it for. When will price pull back at this demand? I'm like, bro, when it does, you better be getting in that trade. Like, you better be getting ready to murder, because you asking, you all talk, right? You sliding in her DMs, US 30. Yo, what's up, shot? Like, what you trying to do? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now she responds to you. So now you wanna have cold feet? No, you better put in that work. You better be in that joint. You better be getting in that trade, because it's not a matter of like what if, it's a matter of when. All right. Because once price does come back here, that means you better be getting ready. And so another thing I had to learn is, that's why I told y'all, like, there's power in price bouncing off an area twice. I would like use all my bullets trying to, I was like, oh wow, it's back at 4-hour demand. Damn, I'm putting all my positions. And then on a Monday, for example, it pushed, but the volume was not there yet to do the full 400, 500 point that I'm anticipating. And that's when I started realizing, bro, sometimes price takes 2 days to work that zone and then it goes. And I'm like, oh, wow. So then it drastically decreased my like FOMO, fear of missing out, and greed of trying to like catch the full move, or trying to do too much in one single day when price really could push, give you 130 points or so. And then the next day it'll bounce off of the previous day's low. Then it's ready to go. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to calm my horses and wait for price to bounce off the area, for a second day, for instance, because that's when I see that they go the furthest. The furthest in distance, when it's bouncing off of like a good solid demand zone, supply zone. Okay, did y'all know about this? Makes you more patient, makes you very patient, not hasty.
So I have a question too. Because I saw, it's funny that you showed this, because this looks exactly like what I saw on the daily chart, but on Nas 100, I saw that price had pulled back to a previous pullback area.
Ooh.
So I knew it was gonna, I knew it was gonna shoot up.
Oh.
But if I see a setup like that on the daily chart, would it be safe to say that I could hold it for a day or two? I've never held a trade for more than a couple of a little while.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the same thing for the daily chart. I used to think if price is bouncing off the daily chart, then it's going. Nah, sometimes and very often they bounce off of that daily low twice, and sometimes thrice, but typically twice, just like the little, the witch on the broomstick. Just click the heel twice, and that's when that joint goes. And I'm gonna give you all the analogies so you can remember. So this is a perfect prime rib example. We got Monday, June 24th. We have Thursday, July 18th. They are literally bouncing off this demand a month apart. Then you go down to the 3, the 2, doesn't matter, right? You're just looking to see how good price looks. Here's another thing that I liked about this, which brings me to the point that we needed to talk about exiting your trades or exit psychology. On the first day, price is bouncing off of a higher time frame and you catch the buy. Don't forget, they have to break structure or change character, meaning the first time price breaks structure past the previous lower high, for example, right? And what happens when price breaks structure?
It retests.
It retests. So here you go, you're in a beautiful buy, sniper entry, and you're holding on to this way too long after it just took out the liquidity or broke structure to make a first, higher high, or, just breaking the structure. This is the time for you to exit or close partials, because you know what happens when price breaks structure. Don't trying to hold it too long and then be like, I'm so greedy. You're not greedy. It's just you should have known to exit here, because price could literally have a second day of retest, and then you can lock up, because it's the second day price is bouncing off of a significant demand zone. You see how that just healed you up inside?
It did. It did. It did. It did. Because not only did it touch the daily, I went back to that Friday candle.
Yeah.
Well, really what I thought was 8 a.m. It's not
Right.
8 a.m. Eastern, but what I thought, but it did break that candle. So I was like, all right, this is double confirmation. It's a pullback on the daily. Hans already told me about the Friday candle. It broke. So now I just have to wait for the retest and hop in there, and it's gonna shoot up.
Yep. And the second time around, oh Lord, you're gonna hit me up either tomorrow or Wednesday, sometime this week, when you're up like so many pips on Nas. I might be in that joint with you. And you're like, yo, Hans. And then you're gonna not be able to sleep. There's always the 3 stages. And then you're gonna be driving and people talking to you. You're gonna be in your own head like, yo, so this setup right here. Look.
I'm gonna be on Zillow, like you said. I'm like, well, what I didn't made. It's gonna be my first $200, $100. Let me get on Zillow real quick.
Right.
Let me see what houses I'm gonna
Start
be able to
looking at
afford.
houses. Oh, 4 million? That's not too bad.
You know what I'm saying? I just had a quick
Talking
one.
crazy. Yeah. Like, wait a minute. This setup be playing like that all the time? Damn, so next time I could put $5 to the bed. Oh, shoot. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Right? So you like, bam, $5. Joint moves 450, 480 points. Oh my God, I'm up 2.4K. Yo, I ain't leaving this in the account. We're drawing 1,500 or 2 bands. And hey, landlord, you ain't gotta send me that text nor email. I got it for you. Okay. Okay. Or you know what? I always wanted to buy this crypto. Man, let me not sleep on this, boy, because this could change my life 2 years from now, or come election time, blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, you now have $50,000 because this crypto just shot up. And now you have 20 bands to, put in a real trading account you always dreamed of. Now you can have your 1K, 2K days, 3K days. Now you taking care of credit card bills. Now you have the buying power to, leverage your business, open up another one, spoil your parents, everybody who doubted you, like, yeah, what's your cash app? What's up? I'm just saying, like, it just opens up a new world where you're like, damn, yo, this really paid off. It took me 4 years to finally meet Hans, as somebody who, lines up or aligns with my personality, just to simplify, like, wow, I can't believe I didn't give up just to meet one person across this journey, along this journey, for it to make sense. Like, damn, you're gonna be mad that it took that long for you to meet somebody to just break it down like me, but you're also gonna be grateful because, like, you wouldn't have appreciated something like that, because you would have not known what type of gem, what type of diamond in the rough you just found, because you done went through so much in the past where you needed that today. I'm telling y'all the real full truth, man. You out here crying in one eye and then grateful in the other. Damn, I had to lose that much to learn this. damn, why didn't I have to? Then you realize that life, there's a dichotomy in this realm. You can't have pleasure if it wasn't for pain. You can't have clarity if it's not for losses. You can't know if somebody really loves you unless they get tested. Knowledge of good and evil, good and bad, yin and yang. Well, however you want to spin it. You see what I'm saying? The balance of the universe. So that's why like some of those things make sense with this market, and why like when I finally made sense out of these things, I'm like, damn, so what's stopping me from putting a 50 lot? Who's gonna stop me? Okay, I thought so. You in that shower singing like, bro, next time I see the setup, I'm putting a 5 lot. Whatever happens, happens. I just gotta make sure I'm not jumping the gun too much. But boy, the setup is, there's no limit. I could turn a $400, $500 into 2 bands off this setup. And I ain't even gotta push it too much. I gotta, like you start to really see what this can do. Oh, I still didn't to ask my ask your question. I just got my text. I mean, I just got my phone. Ask the question, D. You would have been grits because my phone was not on me. Thank you, babe. Oh, Lord. There's a lot of text messages here. Golly. Sheesh. Okay. All right. Okay, ask your questions. Ask your questions. And then I'm going to keep diving into exit strategies and breathing room psychology. Okay. I know we got like.
So it doesn't really matter what time frame, because we can. It seems like we can use this on honestly any time frame. You can go down to the 5 minute, the 1 minute. You can use this on any time as long as it's
Hello?
at that time of volume.
Mm-hmm. Now.
Okay, Hans, can you go back to US 30, please? I know what the problem was. You couldn't hear me.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah, I just realized that you weren't able to hear me.
Yeah.
Could you go back to the, oh shoot, where is it? Oh, the 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you went to the 8 o'clock and then you saw go to the right, the candle that dropped the lowest. Okay,
This?
right there, right. Now go over to the right again. And you see that cluster where you see a range going on right there. Now, the third candle in was actually a blue candle. Why wouldn't you have gotten into that thinking, okay, well, this is it?
Remember, I told you, D, that definitely is your redemption time. Like between 10 to 12, and price is still like, if they bounce twice, get in that joint. You're good to go. Because
Okay, so then
like
that
the
would have been good
second
one.
retest. Yeah, I'm mad I
Okay,
didn't get in this.
okay,
I was already out the house. Yeah.
all right.
There ain't no reason you shouldn't get in that trade, even if it's 12:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good question. Good question. Yeah. Because this is the perfect scenario of an imperfect market. Like this, excuse me, this right here, I'm grateful for, because me and D, we talk about this all the time. Like the other day, me and you, we had this conversation about, like, let's say I'm trading live with y'all, right? We took a loss and it's 10 a.m. now. Everybody's, well, we'll catch them next time, Hans. It's all good. And you hear I made my loss back. How did I make my loss back and you guys lost for the day? Because I followed up with this market and I saw that this sell, they bounced off of that same rally by like 12:30, 1 p.m. I'm still getting in that buy. My stop loss is going to be lower than that. And I'm for sure going to recover for the day. Because price in the pre-market, well, not pre-market, but earlier in the session, they were doing too much, but then they broke structure, came back and retested this area from 10. I'm still getting in that buy. Like, why wouldn't I? You know? So
Right.
don't give up so quick. Sometimes it just might have not played in your favor between the 8, 9, and the 10. But if price is retesting them levels, you better take that trade. Okay.
Okay,
That's
thanks.
great question, D. Thank you. Glad you finally spoke up.
No, I didn't realize that you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, man. My phone was charging in the room.
Yeah, because I saw her mic was unmuted, but there was no sound. So I was like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't coming through, and I kept pushing all the buttons over here trying to figure out why isn't it coming through.
Mhm.
Technology, man, it'll be your friend and then it'll be against you 1 minute.
Right. Right. So if I see a setup like that by 12:30, I'm telling y'all, like by 2 p.m., shoot, sometimes just for an hour, like if I'm up above 100 points or by 100 points, I'm getting out. But some setups, when they retested it by the afternoon, you could pretty much hold it until the end of the session or before market close. I like those ranges, which makes me a pretty good intraday trader, and I don't have to suffer swap fees. Okay. And so what I'll usually do too is like if prices still mean the thing is sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have left something running. That's my only thing, right? But by the time I'm like, yo, 40 lots times 100 points, I like those whole numbers. I don't want to chip away from that. Like that's just why I much prefer to be an intraday trader. But if it comes down to it, like Tuesday, Wednesday, I might hold a swing, depending on how the structure is respecting. Because like, look at this setup. This setup looks it's telling me things. It's telling me lots of things. Like, not only did we retest the zone about a week later, and we setting up the floor like, yo, somebody remind me to keep one position running. And this is why sometimes when you're trying to get into like a continuation buy and they lose volume and you're like, oh my gosh, let me close the loss before it gets worse. Because in setups like this, when they finally turn back around to make a higher low, by next week, you can definitely get your lick back. You can recover, you can have your redemption, but don't try to fight it when you can't tell how far price is going to keep selling off. Once now you know price within the next week or so can bounce off of the demand 2 consecutive days, and that secures your reasoning behind getting into a really good trade. And there goes your account recovering. Okay. So you don't have to revenge trade when you know better. You know what setup's going to help you much more than the uncertainty that you're feeling at the time. So it's okay to be a loser for a day or two. But trust and belief. This ain't over, market. This ain't over, US 30. I'm just, licking my wounds for the moment. And I'm letting myself breathe, recalibrate, and letting myself see clarity before I trade again. Facts or not? For my revenge traders, that was for you. You got to know when to get your revenge. Don't you be seeing how them hood dudes, they be waiting for somebody's next birthday to finally like too soon? They'll wait a whole year. They'll wait and wait and wait on your grandma's birthday at the grandma's funeral. I know I'm sounding dark right now, but I'm saying like learn from people who are like murderers. Like you gotta plan your revenge. I'm sorry, but this market does not ask for you to be compulsive. It asks for you to be methodical. All right. Act like you forgot. And then when it thought you forgot, you thought I forgot? No, I didn't. Okay. And you'll be having the last laugh. I promise you. All the way to the bank. All right. But just remember me. My Cash App is always open. All right. So so far, is everything making sense? Is it making dollars? That's why I'm speaking nice and slow, so it can make sense, so y'all can have questions and all of that. Okay. Let's move on to exit psychology. One of my weak points sometimes is not seeing the buy side liquidity. But thank God, if I see that I'm bleeding, I close and stop the bleeding early. For example, Thursday, this is what reminded me about like being mindful of buy side liquidity. If you see the market has already been bullish by Thursday, be careful if this is still going to continue being bullish, because they love to sweep a Wednesday on Thursday and bring it back down. And here goes my silly ass getting in these buys like I did on gold. And I'm like, oh. And yo, that one hurted. It hurted. And when I was going back to like test and see, I'm like, damn, yo, why didn't I remember that? But I just didn't think the way this W formation bounced twice Wednesday. Oh yeah, bro, the way they bounce, they had me. You got to just call it how it is. The way they had this pushing, I'm like, my eyes was wide open. I'm like 2483, 2500. They said, psych. And then they broke and retested. And so when price is going above a previous day when there was a new high, be careful, be careful, be careful. Be ready to like move your stop loss into profit. Be ready to exit. Be ready to wait for a retracement and see if it's going to make a higher low instead. Be mindful of these big impulsive candles that might turn on you. And that's why, like, when price goes and takes out an old high, don't be the last trader in these buys. Or like, if price is going to make a lower low past an old low on the left, don't be that trader who's so optimistic, super overtly optimistic, and not realizing that price could literally pull right back up. The most profits you're in, close partials, close something, move your stop loss into profit, because ain't no guarantees this is going to keep selling off. All right. I've been caught with my pants down a few times like that. Like, damn, they got me. How many y'all go through that situation? You just want to hold forever, and then you should have gotten out when price, like when it took out old highs or old lows. When price takes out old lows and old highs, they make a new high. Don't just be sitting here watching. Make a decision. Close partials. Close the trade. Because a breaker structure comes with a retracement. So catch the profit once it broke structure, but close some positions because it's going to retrace, and it's going to allow you to add more positions after the retracement for the continuation. Because we all know price does this: break, retest, continuation. So you got to know at each stage. Tiana said, I was just talking about this with someone. I'm telling you, when you're deep in this thing, it's a connection, right? When price breaks structure, this is your exit. When price is pulling back, this is your entry because that's your continuation trade. Don't confuse the two. Sometimes you will miss out because prices keeps running, but it's not as easy to spot what's going to happen. So if you're not actively watching your trade like a hawk, know your exit points because they are very, very, very important. You see all this volume, you're in all this profit. Yo, be mindful of your left. Watch your left. And that's typically the previous day's highs or a brand new high was made. And then so when they try to go and make a higher high and they just lose volume, yeah, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. All right. For example, like I remember July 11th, Monday, price starts bullish. That they be catching me like that for. I'm not even gonna sit here and deny it. Like I'll be in a beautiful trade. It's all bullish. I'm like, oh, screenshot, posting it everywhere. Man, that smile turns sour quick. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I thought y'all, I'm looking left. I'm like, bro, I thought y'all had it. I thought y'all had it. Turns out they ain't had the budget for it. And pulling back in. I'm like, oh my God. So now I have to literally sit through drawdown unnecessarily. Sitting through unnecessary drawdown. When I could have just closed once it went and made a new high or broke and went above that high, and I would have been sitting pretty. And then when price pulled back in, I'll jump back in for, a better entry, or now that I've had profit, I can use some of that profit to just keep scaling in. So exit psychology, man. Like, don't be the trader that's like dead last because you thought prices are gonna keep running. And then gold does that a lot. You're in these buys is going well, snap, take out some type of old high that you couldn't even tell was an old high. I think I got caught up here too. And then they pulling back. Oh, maybe it's a pullback continuation. Then they pull back deeper, like, oh shit. And then now you have to explain to your business partners or your wife. Like, I thought you were like up. Yeah. But then go pull back on me. So yeah, I thought you said you're supposed to close when I'm like, well, change the plans. I didn't see this coming. So when you start seeing these things happening too often and you're running out of excuses or you're frustrated that it's not an excuse, it's just they caught you lacking, start paying attention. Because you can't keep blaming the market forever. You're going to have to take the accountability regardless. So, okay. And another gem I want to let you know before we finish and y'all just get to asking questions is if you were up the previous day, don't use those same lot sizes. Budget your profit. Ooh, I like that. Budget your profit. If you made $200 last time, use 30, 35 bucks, 40 bucks in risk. So that way, if you lose, you're losing 30, 45, 50 bucks. You still got 150 to trade with or in profit. Don't be rinsing the floor with this market and then just giving it all back. Like sometimes that happens to me and I'm like, yo, well, the setup looked good. And it's like, well, you scaled in too many positions, sir. Damn, you're right. Here I am having this conversation with self and I have to keep my accountability. And so the minute that you're in good profit from following up from another day, move that stop loss into profit. You ain't going to lose nothing but the profit today. Not about to lose yesterday's profit or the earlier session's profit. That should be hurting. Not only did you lose money, then you lost yesterday's profit. It's like, God, so annoying. So be mindful of that. When you're up, the next day, you got to rebalance the budget. You got to budget your profit. Y'all writing that one down? Because I'm not about to ask y'all, what did y'all learn tomorrow, from yesterday and nobody's like answering. It's like, did I talk too much? Budget your profit. Budget your profit. Budget your profit. That is so helpful, especially for y'all who want to be funded and stuff like that. You're up 2% and then you go gambling the whole 2% on the next trade, and now your ass is grits. Budget your profit. Of course, you never thought about that before. It's the wisdom in me, man. The losses made me wise beyond my years. That's how I'm able to be a mentor. I done went through so much. I done made so many stupid mistakes, but the difference between me and you guys is I'm like, okay, before I go crazy, I need to find a solution out of what just happened here. Or else it's gonna literally drive me insane. I'm driving, I'm taking a shower, I'm at church, I'm like doing something. I'm like, damn, what's wrong? Nothing. Something's wrong. Did you take a loss? I don't want to talk about it. So then I have to go and do my one-on-one session with myself. And I'm like, so what could we have done better? Okay. Okay, that's what we could have done. Okay, let's do that next time. And it brings my stress level down, makes me feel less of that imposter syndrome. And I figured out a solution. And now my mind became solution-based even more. So now that if I take a loss, my mind is already calculating, okay, well, what could we have done better, Hans? Maybe we should have moved that stop loss earlier, no matter how much we thought this was gonna run. Yeah, that was it. Damn, why didn't we think of that? It's the loss, buddy. That's what happens. It's the byproduct of the loss. So, okay, well, hey, I'm glad I took the loss because now I'm like wiser beyond my years. And I can teach this without no script. And it's all falling in line with somebody's psychology. Okay. So what's the catchphrase? What is the catchphrase?
Budget your profits.
Budget your profits. And we're just going to end it right here. Okay.
I'm so late. That class.
Yep.
An hour.
Yep. We've been here for an hour and 30 and you pulled up at the benediction. So budget your profits. What did I say, D-Mac?
Budget your profit.
Okay. What does that mean?
Basically budgeting the previous day's profits. Ensure that you don't lose it all at one time.
That's it. Althea? What's going on? All right. What are 2 things that you guys can remember for today? Kyle is so funny, bro.
I can remember the budget your profits. I definitely need to take that to heart, and I am. And then also what you said about being careful or taking partials when price breaks a previous high, and just be careful and always look left.
Yep. That I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Satisfied. Okay. Well, you guys have a great night. Peace, love, and blessings. And we'll meet again tomorrow. The last couple of days is going to be y'all telling me, teaching me, and showing me how many notes you took. Because this is a lot of information that literally will change your trading for the rest of your life. I need to see that y'all took a whole lot of notes. I could have charged $5,000. Would it not make sense if I charge y'all $5,000 for this whole entire bootcamp?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is definitely well worth the money. I'm here, like, yeah,
I don't want
absolutely.
you to tell you. I don't want to tell you yes, and then you come back with a bill.
I'm
Later
coming
on
back
after
with the
the
bill, and you better not be scared of that bill, because I done taught you how to make 5 bands. That's the thing.
Oh man.
I done taught you how to make 5 racks. I did. Okay, that's the point.
No, facts.
You would
Facts.
feel so ashamed of the amount of value that I dropped that you have no choice but to prove to me that I didn't waste my time. Or yours. And also be able to see that you can afford anything in due time. Amen.
Amen.
All right. That's it. Peace, love, and blessings. Have a great night. I will be giving y'all accessibility to that replay soon as it's done. All right, guys. Recording stop.